The movie begins with Jason, the main character, having an argument with his parents about his poor grades in school. They are worried that his friends are a bad influence on him. Later, we see Jason selling substances to one of his classmates, the same kind of activity his older brother Michael used to do before ending up in jail. After the school bell rings, the new English teacher, Lila, introduces herself to the class. Next, Andrew, the school's gym instructor, approaches Lila to introduce himself, and she responds kindly. Meanwhile, at home, Lila calls her mother and shares how well things are going at her new job. On the other hand, Jason gets into a heated argument with his mother for coming home late. She fears that Jason might end up like his brother Michael, with a troubled future. The next day, after class ends, Jason stays behind and asks Lila for help with the essay about his personal life. Lila had previously asked the students to write an essay about their lives so she could get to know them better. But instead of talking about his essay, Jason asks her, "What about you?" "We don't know anything about you." Lila curiously asks what exactly he wants to know, but Jason suddenly leaves the classroom without giving an answer. As Lila runs after him, she bumps into Sean. Sean advises her not to waste her time on this guy because he's beyond help and will likely end up in prison like his brother. Despite that, Lila insists she should help him because it's her job, especially since Jason asked for help. Sean dismisses her and wishes her luck, then walks away. The next day, Jason presents his essay in class, and Lila is genuinely impressed by his work. After class, Lila tells Jason that she sees his potential and is confident that he can improve his grades. That evening, Lila is going through some papers, and it seems she is dealing with a divorce. The next morning, Jason rides his bike to school and sees Andrew with Lila, making plans for the evening. In class, Jason is distracted, and Lila notices this. After class, she talks to him about it, and he explains that the reason for his distraction is the pressure from his parents to not end up like his brother Michael. Lila offers to give him extra lessons for 30 minutes every day. Jason is happy with the offer. That evening, Lila and Andrew go to a bar and have a good time together. However, we find out that Jason is also at the same bar, secretly watching Lila. As time passes, Lila overindulges a bit, and Andrew arranges a taxi for her to go home, although he was expecting more from her. The next day, during lunch, Jason skips school and doesn't attend class. Lila is upset about his absence. Later, Jason promises not to skip again and asks her not to tell anyone because it would cause him serious trouble. Lila promises not to say anything, as she believes it wouldn't help anyone. Then, Jason takes Lila's hand in a romantic gesture, but she quickly pulls it away. That night, as it rains outside, Lila is talking to her mother. Suddenly, Jason appears at her door, badly beaten. Shocked and concerned, Lila cuts off the call with her mother and rushes to tend to him. She asks him what happened, but Jason says nothing and becomes angry. When he tries to leave, Lila stops him and offers to drive him home. On the way, Jason asks Lila to stop at a place with a beautiful view and tries to get closer to her, but Lila ignores him and returns to the car, driving him home. She tells him that nothing can happen between a teacher and a student. Jason gets out of the car, a bit disappointed. The next day at school, Jason and Lila completely ignore each other. Later, Jason's mother, while cleaning, checks his notebook and notices that his grades have significantly improved. She asks Jason what caused this change. He answers that it's because of the new teacher at school. His mother, curious, wants to meet her, but is also happy because her son has never been so organized. A while later, Lila and Andrew meet again at the same bar, but this time Andrew starts asking many questions about Lila's past, a subject she doesn't want to talk about as it makes her uncomfortable. Meanwhile, Jason is also at the same bar. When Lila goes to the restroom, Jason follows her, but Lila quickly returns to the table after seeing him. Andrew has ordered more drinks for her, but Lila is distracted, so she leaves the bar, claiming it's because of her mother. Sean is also at the bar and takes the opportunity to talk to Andrew. At the same time, Jason goes to Layla's house, and they watch a movie together. Later, Layla feels regretful for having let Jason into her house. The next day at school, Layla tells Jason that whatever was between them needs to end right now. They should have a normal, friendly relationship. Jason agrees with her, but says that before they can return to normal, he wants to give her a gift. He asks her to close her eyes and places a necklace around her neck. This gesture makes Lila happy, as she hasn't felt this way in a long time. Later that evening, Lila talks to her mother and mentions meeting a younger person. Her mother is happy but unaware that this younger person is actually Lila's student. The next day, Jason hides in Lila's car and they go on a picnic together. They have a great time. Lila talks about her previous marriage and the abuse she endured from her ex-husband. Jason promises he will never hurt her and takes several photos of her. Although Lila knows that someone might see them and that this could be a mistake, she doesn't mind because of the feelings she has for Jason. One day, while Jason's mother was cleaning his room, she checked his phone and saw photos that he had taken of Lila. Later, she went to school to meet the new teacher and thank her for her work, but when she realized that Lila was the woman in the photos with her son, she became very angry. She told Lila to end whatever was going on between her and Jason. Lila tried to calm her down, but Jason's mother wouldn't back down. When Jason's mother left the school office, the principal noticed that she seemed upset. Lila told the principal that it was due to a phone call, but Jason's mother was still unhappy about their relationship, even though her son's grades had improved. That night, when Jason got home, he argued with his mother about what had happened. Jason told her that he was in love with Lila and asked his mother to forget about the age difference and let him be happy. After the argument with his mother, Jason angrily leaves the house. His mother remains opposed to their relationship, but his father tries to defend him, saying their son has fallen in love. Meanwhile, Lila decides to tell her mother everything. When her mother hears about it, she becomes extremely angry and warns Lila that she could end up in jail. Later, Jason goes to Lila's house, but she refuses to see him. They argue, and Lila asks him to leave. A little while later, as Lila sits on the couch, sipping tea and lost in thought, she receives a note slipped under the door. It's from Jason, apologizing for his actions and telling her how much he loves her. Lila opens the door, and Jason enters with a bouquet of flowers. They embrace each other. Jason suggests that they leave the city together, and Lila starts to consider the idea. A while later, when Lila arrives at school, she sees Jason in the yard. He asks her if she's thought about his proposal, but Andrew is watching them from afar, and when he sees Jason holding Lila's hand, he feels jealous, believing he has been outdone by a student. That night, while Lila is alone in class, Andrew attacks her. Soon after, Jason finds her in a bad state, and Lila tells him everything that happened. The next day, Jason, furious about what Andrew did to Lila, confronts him. The police get involved, and Jason is arrested. Lila feels guilty as she watches Jason being taken to the station. Jason's mother bails him out of jail while Lila stands outside, hoping to talk to him, but his mother doesn't allow it. She orders Lila to stay away from her son's life and go back to where she came from. However, Lila insists on knowing how Jason is doing, but his mother firmly drives her away. Days pass, and Jason stops attending class, which makes Lila feel even more guilty. She contacts Andrew and arranges to meet him. Lila tells Andrew that if he files a complaint against Jason, she will also be arrested for attacking Lila. She also forces Andrew to resign from his school. With no other option, Andrew agrees to do so. Some time later, Jason goes looking for Lila, but she decides to leave the city. She refuses to take Jason with her. This decision shatters Jason, leaving him in tears. The film ends with this poignant scene. I hope you enjoyed this introduction. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give me energy with your likes and comments.